At some point in life, you'll wake up and you will realize that you're not the same person anymore. You have changed. And instead of feeling proud, you feel confused. Life changes. How to overcome insecurities and gain self-confidence. That's what we're going to talk about today. I was going through one of my old hard drives and going through my pictures the other day, and it just made me think back and be like, wow, I've changed so much. I'm definitely not the person that I was. It can be so easy to compare ourselves and our life to other people, to celebrities, friends, family, colleagues, whoever. Compare ourselves always to our past self and just look at the growth. I know it can be hard to face those changes, and it's not always easy to change also, even if you know that you have to change your ways. I just want to share with you some of the things that has helped me. In life, everyone has insecurities. One of my big insecurities was always my thighs. I hated my thighs, even though I was very athletic and active as a young child and even in my teens. And then later on in my mid-20s, I just didn't see myself as a fit person anymore. And it started to manifest on my body, especially my thighs. I had cellulite and I just felt like my thighs were so jiggly, and it was like an insecurity for me. Another insecurity of mine was always my hair. I had few white hair strands, like 3, and then later on it became 10. And every time these white hairs or hair strands would pop up, I wanted to color my hair black or dark brown, and later on I did highlights, and at one point I chopped off my hair. It's nothing wrong with experimenting with your hair and trying different hairstyles. It's just that I, as a person, I always loved to be very natural. I always have had very minimal makeup, so it's just like I wasn't me. I was just trying different things just to cover up my white hairs, which is like, we can't really change everything. Even if we can change some things, which is great, we cannot change some other things, like the white hairs on your hair. You cannot change your age. I would say one of the big shifts for me was becoming a mom. You just kind of see yourself through your child's eyes. How do you want them to view themselves? Or even if you think about yourself as a child, how would you view that child, even if she grows up? And it just makes you think differently. Right now, I have so many white hairs, as you see everywhere in my hair and even here. And I don't even care. I just feel so beautiful. And that's just because I love myself in a totally different way today. Insecurities come from fear. Some kind of fear of not being liked by people or not being accepted. And what about if you start to like yourself first and love yourself first? Because confidence comes from when you love yourself. That's how you will show up for yourself. So I started to exercise, and I became so much more fit than I have ever been after becoming a mom. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to start running. I love running because I love being outdoors. The gym was never my thing, still isn't, but I love the outdoors. And then I started with doing a 20-minute run in the park. And then it became 30 minutes and then 40 minutes. And with time, I kind of pushed myself, because whatever you start doing and train in doing, like exercising, even drawing, even, I don't know, dancing, you will become better and you will have better results. And when you show up for yourself, start to trust yourself, you become confident when you become better and better and better with time. So give yourself time, and you just have to show up. Just show up. And I promise you, with time, you will become better. And my thighs became tighter. And when you start to get results, you feel better, your confidence becomes better, and you show up even stronger. You get motivated. And of course, sometimes you're not motivated. Sometimes you just don't feel it, and that's fine. And you will fall back down. But don't stay there. Stand up, raise yourself up, and you will get through it, and you will do better, and you will get back there. After pregnancy, I was scared of even being pregnant, of the pregnancy, of what will happen with my body. Will I lose my life? I won't be able to do this and that. But when the child comes, and for you, maybe it will be like another circumstance. For me, I always knew that I wanted to have my kids. Your priorities change. I just, love what I'm doing and my life. I started to also be more conscious of what I'm eating, the food that I'm consuming, what I'm watching, music, people around me, everything everything is energy, and you are surrounded by energy. Even your home. I've always liked to be very minimal and not have too many things, just because I feel very strongly. Friends, do they like you? You could feel it if they like you or dislike you. If you're just only clapping for others, if you're just showing up for others with a big smile and really supportive, you're draining yourself. If you don't have that energy back, it's not about like a give and take, it's not the exchange, but it is a kind of exchange also. And if it's not good energy, you have to break it off. Never be in a room with anyone that doesn't want to see you on stage. How you speak to yourself matters, and it's so important. Law of attraction and manifestation, it's like my favorite thing, and a totally different topic that I have to do a separate video for. But it is like so true. Whatever you tell yourself and whatever you say to yourself, it does matter, and it will manifest. Always think about that. Of course, like as I said before, it's so easy to not feel yourself at all times, or your confidence goes down at times, but don't stay there. Change your ways. Look at your old photos. Think about whatever you have achieved and celebrate those things, like for yourself, Be proud of yourself, of the things that you have achieved, even if it's like small things. God and religion and faith, that has also a lot to do with manifestation. And sometimes when you don't have the energy and you just feel lost, turn to God, turn to faith, and pray. I do that all the time. I love praying because you don't have to know what to say. You don't have to have the perfect words. You just have to be yourself and be honest. And God, He will listen. Sometimes you will be met with silence, and that's also an answer. Or sometimes it's just a test for you to understand that this is your time to show your faith. And that's also a totally different kind of love and self-love. We all feel many times that we want to do things alone, and we can do it alone. It's just so much better and more beautiful when you're not alone, when you have a higher power, the highest source of power, and you are just divinely protected and loved. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of changing yourself. Don't be afraid of changing your opinions. There's no one here to judge you, and even if they do, who are they to judge? It's only you and God. You're allowed to change your opinions. You're allowed to have said something or thought something at one point, and now be and do something totally different. You decide over your life and your body and who you are. Isn't the whole point of the human experience and life to change, to experience, to grow, to fall. And just remember how failure is so important, because if you don't fall, you can never grow. You have to grow. And I am so thankful for all of the bad stuff that has happened to me in my life, honestly. You will just get stronger and tougher. Show up for yourself so you can trust yourself, so you can love yourself, so you can be yourself. And when you can be yourself, you will be free, because you don't have to hide behind a mask and lie. You know, it feels like a lie otherwise, and you will be free. Confidence lives in space, not in words only. Starts with words, and if you don't feel it, pretend, and then it will be true. I promise you. Before you go, I want you to ask yourself one last question. What's changing in you right now? And what would happen if you would stop fighting it? I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye.